RRQ can go for.
I don't think the Mia would work here because one of the main issues was advantages was the reliance of RRQ on engage. But in this composition, as we talked about earlier, the Yve can match the poke of the Lilia. So that will no longer be an inherent advantage that ONIC has against RRQ. So now for Marth, something with damage, for sure. They need it.
I really, I'm thinking just the heroes that he's played, Irithel, Popol and Koopa, Claude up against this comp. There's a lot of CC, like, a lot of like face-to-face CC, from the Khalid. And if you want to go close range up against these monsters, you're going to have to wait for that win of nature. We'll see if it works out for ONIC Esports. It's a dive comp for ONIC. I guess it still synergizes really well with their composition, but RRQ is the Beatrix. And so far in the playoffs, Beatrix has won against Claude every single time.
We'll see how that matchup plays out here because the Beatrix is going to be so much more flexible, right? So he can go long range, close range, everything that RRQ needs depending on the situation. And of course, it's the signature pick for Skylar as well. So ONIC needs to be very careful. I think for the most part, it's pretty balanced, but RRQ, I think, have a bit of a inherent advantage. It all, I think, depends on how well Kyrie can play that Lancelot, because that is one of the main factors. If he can deny or delete Clay on the E, for example, automatically things are different.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to dive in for game number 4 into the Land of Dawn for RRQ Hoshi versus ONIC Esports. This time, Kyrie on the killing spree. Albert opting to go for that killing spree as well.
Quite a similar situation from the previous game where ONIC Esports, they should have the better early game in terms of that mid control. And you can see once again that being directly reflected with how aggressive Keyboy is playing. He is trying to put some pressure onto Albert in that jungle. It hasn't amounted to much so far, but expect the same type of aggression and flow from ONIC Esports in the early game.
On the top side, R7 will have a bit of a sustain advantage right there with the shifting quicksands, and that will allow him to actually match the sustain from Esmeralda, for the while at least. And we can see the Keyboy already taking a lot more damage, a lot more fight compared to game number 3 earlier. So RRQ Hoshi, they have a bit more chance to actually match ONIC in the early game department. We'll have to see though, the solo performance from the side lanes will be so critical in ensuring the tempo and pace of the game.
ONIC Esports, with their composition, I'm trying to think about the matchups here again, right? This Paquito should be able to have a little bit of an edge against the Lancelot, but it all really depends on Kyrie, right? How flexible, how mobile is he on this Lancelot? Time prediction by Axe, though. Here, on the English cast, every single one of us gone for RRQ.
Makes sense, right? Because when we think about the engage tools from ONIC Esports, it can be denied with the composition that RRQ Hoshi has brought to the table. Ooh, almost CW getting chunked very low here as Vin is circling towards that bottom side, helping Skylar a little bit in that lane. But remember, 2 seconds left on the next turtle to spawn, and ONIC Esports seem to be the ones to set up first.
They have control here in RRQ. They're pushing Boots away though, so R7 will be able to participate, and Keyboy gets chunked by Albert.
Has the guy to win, getting back to peak. R7 though, zoning Kyrie away, dealing so much damage, forcing the Phantom Execution here, but it's gonna be Kyrie, who still is able to steal the turtle here. First blood over to Albert, traded in 1 for 1. Man, Kyrie is a menace.
What is that retribution? Has he missed a single retribution? He has a few, but in total, like the percentage...
It's so high.
What? Where did this guy come from?
Philippines.
The Philippines. It's a quick answer for us at the English desk. But looking at the emblems here, Avarice on 3 members, they want to scale. Scaling in the side lanes is important for them. And this is a bit of what RRQ was doing, right? Strong mid lane and jungle presence, but weak presence in the side lanes. This is going to be a chance for RRQ to replicate the same outcome that ONIC was able to get. And if you look at the Festival of Blood for R7, he's going to be a lot more aggressive. And we saw the amount of damage he can do if he is left alone with anyone squishy, including Kyrie.
Let's see. Once again, it's Kyrie who gets it here. Sans, though, going to be popping that black shoes. Instantly bursts it down. Now blast popped in. Kyrie able to dash. Going for the puncture. Nope, just goes for the Thorn Rose. Whew. Disengaging. ONIC Esports down below. CW is looking for that clear. Has the BMI back. Ooh, RRQ almost actually caught that, predicted that. Didn't grab it though in the end. Exonic CW was able to get out. You guys though can grab food with the 90% discount code grb.to/MPL. And you can also go scan the QR code.
QR code, not barcode.
QR code.
Remember that, Mirko.
That's
Don't
you.
make the same mistake.
Yes. Eterna.
Speaking of the same mistake though, RRQ with the Eve, doing a lot better, but now Keyboy, very low, and Skylar goes in, forces the flicker, and a big point here, RRQ Hoshi has more crowd control when it comes to those slows, but as the response on esports with 3 sprints, they will be able to move away from that real-world manipulation a lot more reliably, as RRQ is still maintaining their pressure.
So they have the guiding wind from Matilda. They have additional speed with the spells as well. It's going to be difficult, no, for RRQ Hoshi to look for an engage at this stage?
It depends. If R7 lands a massive Raging Sandstorm, that can actually be a big deal. Numinum Blast as well, but Vin now is the main target for ONIC Esports.
Oh, real world inflation. Kyrie still able to get out with the guiding wind. CW gets out with the battle mirror image. Practically a free turtle over to RRQ unless Kyrie can somehow steal this again. No, he's just walking back into his own jungle. RRQ will be able to secure this one. And that's going to be the gold lead shifting a little bit over. Yeah, just down to equal once again. 100 gold. 1 minion will be able to equalize that. So it's still very equal. 4 minutes in, 5 minutes in the game.
Yeah, 50-50 right now. 1-for-1 turtle as well, as Kyrie was able to get the first one, and Albert now on the second one without too much of a difference in this gold lead. Is there any significance that we should see from the items, Arashi?
Have to seize for R7. If you don't pay attention, this man is gonna delete you. But CW deletes that gold buff. He only has the Demon Hunter sword, but he's able to get that. No, Vin is a target. He is still very tanky. A decent amount of items available, but look at Albert. Happy feet.
Happy feet, Sans. He's Sans, means chill in Indonesia. Albert and both ONIC Esports and RRQ right now, I think for both teams, they're happy to actually play it slow, right? They have scaling options towards that late game. CW with that gold buff steal and with the Avarice should be able to actually farm a little bit more efficiently. A good snipe though from Skylar as Vin goes in for the stun, but Keyboy is a bit too sustainable to actually die from that kind of poke, or to actually even get taken low by that kind of poke.
This is 3 members though, already setting up from RRQ Hoshi in this bottom side. They are starting to rotate and shift their focus, but let's see what they can do with it. Keyboy reads this out really well, giving information to CW as well to play a little bit more safely, but you can see the rotations from RRQ now as Albert and R7 already here in this bottom side.
RRQ trying to get the bush control, ensuring that they can trap ONIC Esports. That has been how they were able to get all these very valuable pickups in the early game, in the previous game. So if they can control the bushes and the control on the map, that is something they can do. But look at Boots going in. Is that a mistake though?
Raging Sandstorm over, yeah, not really that much they can really do if it's Boots, right? Has a sprint, very sustainable. That's why ONIC Esports went for that pick. Still, both teams playing it slow, waiting for that objective. No real reason to actually go for fights here without any objectives on board. And here, it's going to be RRQ who actually sets up for it first. R7's looking for that flank. Once again, Sans looking for that opening. Kyrie is finally joining his team here. Keyboy jumps in with the guiding wind. Now onto Vin. Real world inflation to that black line, trying to zone Kyrie away. So that's going to be Thorn Rose popped in. CW comes in with a blazing duet, and that's going to be a lot of damage. It's going to be Albert who secures the turtle. Vin flickers out, gets the new round blast. Play taken down by Kyrie. Vin running away, as that's the damage to take Boots down. A 2-for-1 in favor of RRQ because they stole the turtle. They got the turtle. Skylar stole that Letho as well from CW.
Man, very aggressive plays from both teams, and look at how chaotic the fights are, right? There's no real front line. Everyone is in between each other, and when it comes to that, the team with more sustain, the team with more AoE will usually come out on top. CW now with the golden staff, he'll be able to do a lot more damage in those clumped up team fights. Boots and Sans as well. More security and more ways to combo. And even Kyrie with the land slot, right? If he can land the spells on multiple members, that is huge value that RRQ Hoshi cannot replicate.
Power spikes from ONIC Esports are starting to show with the itemization they have also opted for. There is a slight gold lead for RRQ here in the 8th minute, but other than that, things are looking pretty equal. In a sense, RRQ Hoshi is able to get a little bit more because they're able to get that tower in that bottom side. And so far, ONIC Esports has not been able to get any trades for that.
No trades, and that's not good for ONIC Esports. They'll require vision to set up for those big combos later on. Right now, Kyrie making the big plays happen, and Clay
Deleted. Phantom execution. Might as well call it perfect execution when the Lancelot's on Kyrie's hands. Thorn Rose coming again. That's the double kill for Kyrie. He's getting out of the Raging Sandstorm as well. Looking for the again. R7 is able to sustain back up. Skylar dealing the damage to help his XP laner. ONIC Esports, Kyrie styling on that Lance.
They're just trading at this point, right? RRQ Hoshi able to get a tower on the bottom side, and then ONIC Esports from nowhere. Kyrie able to get 2 members off the board from RRQ Hoshi, and the trades don't stop there, as they are going to be able to get a tower in that top side. Boots just being a menace in that top side, not allowing the Khalid, not allowing R7 to rotate anywhere, just really pinning him to that lane, giving pressure constantly. And it's a really good setup, seeing that ONIC now, they do want to get this Lord.
Vin stunning Keyboy up again. Sustainable Keyboy has that guiding win. Can regen as well, but RRQ puts their focus into the mid lane. Getting a little bit of clear before they go for the concealed play in the bottom side. CW is wide open. The stun comes in. The damage comes in as well from Skylar. Pressing him down. CW gets out with that battle mirror image with the sprint as well. R7 the Raging Sandstorm, but the guiding win from Keyboy helps CW escape. Kyrie with the Phantom Execution now jumping on the Skylar with the Thorn Rose as well. Gets stunned up. Still able to get out from that one. Boots jumps in. R7 as well doing a lot in the back line. R7 will be the one taken down by Kyrie. RRQ losing in this skirmish.
1 man down, and ONIC Esports are going to have a man advantage to get this objective on the board. 2,000 gold lead. Boots already trying to zone Albert away, as ONIC Esports, they have their eyes on the prize. Still 40 seconds left, but look at the damage coming in from Albert.
A lot of damage, but you can see RRQ's reliance on having a definite engage. If ONIC is able to maneuver around, disengage and engage again and again, they seem to be struggling to find success, and Clay now is wide open with the road manipulation.
Yes. Tyler! With the steal, he sniped that from across the map! My God! If Kyrie's from the Philippines, Skylar's from Indonesia! ONIC Esports now looking for some trades on the board. How did he achieve that? ONIC were 2 tunnel vision on Albert, and you cannot give Skylar room to play on this Beatrix.
Come on, that was nobody expected that, right? ONIC Esports, they just knew that they had to focus on Albert because he's the one who has that retribution. And meanwhile, out of nowhere, Skylar with a perfect runner shot, able to get that away. Even though Kyrie paired it with the Phantom Execution as well, it wasn't enough. Skylar just a huge problem now. One of the best gold laners here in MPL ID, and these are the reasons why.
With the longer range right here and the Lord, RRQ Hoshi can look to find more value. Keyboy though will be able to escape. The purple buff will be contested.
Oh my goodness, circling Eagle now by Keyboy. Not really going to be another engage here, but Falling Star One actually catches all of them. As CW jumps into the blazing duet, going to be sniped down though. R7 taking low, taking down. Kyrie jumps in. Thorn Rose taking the kill. Numina blast on the 3 though. Albert going wild. Sans still able to survive. It's a 3-for-1. ONIC Esports takes the dub.
3-for-1 trade, completely worth it for ONIC here. And now they are going to be able to hold the gold lead a little longer because of that engage. And here we go once again.
Oh, they don't stop. They really don't stop.
So aggressive from both of these teams.
The longer the game goes, the more damage Skylar and Albert will have at their disposal right now. Kyrie is 6-0, but slowly but surely that Lancelot is going to fall off a bit, and the instant replay by the Samsung Galaxy A series, we see that in the beginning. Falling Star Moon and Blazing Duet combo. You can see R7 tries best to try and salvage that fight with the Raging Sandstorm, but unfortunately it's not possible. Numenon Blast will actually be able to stun everyone, but there's not enough follow-up. When ONIC Esports make the fights this sporadic, this chaotic, RRQ Hoshi struggles to let their back line, Clay and Skylar, output the damage they need.
The counter plays from both of these teams are giving me whiplash at this point. What is going on? ONIC Esports now with a 2,000 gold lead. Skylar doing so much damage, Arashi. What are his items?
He has the BOD, but that was from full HP, so it's not even a factor here. The Malefic Roar, though, will allow him to do so much damage to anyone. Despite all the Antique Cuirasses and the Dominance Ices built by ONIC Esports, that's a lot of penetration coming in, and that is something that ONIC needs to start paying attention to, because it already stole the Lord. It can steal one of their HP bars next. Looking at the items for the Mage in particular, once this back and forth is happening, Ice Queen's one and Glowing one. Same items for both Sans and Clay, allowing them to have the great mix of DPS, but also that crowd control ability, the slow coming in. For ONIC, they have sprints to counter it. RRQ Hoshi, they have a lot more dashes. So at this point, it's still pretty much even.
Notice Kyrie's items as well. He went for that penetration item mostly. Kyrie again using that penetration onto Vin, getting him low. That's the shield down on Esports. Kyrie's actually going to go over to that top side to clear it out. They can actually play this slow. They don't need to take it. Again, they have the lead. R7 is going to be zoned out. No second ability. That's a massive resource. Now, the knowledge over to ONIC Esports. They have this. They also have that top side cleared out. They can play around the Lord a bit better.
They're going to be able to clear fast, though, as you can see Albert being able to clear that and alleviating the pressure that once was already placed onto them in that top side. And right now, CW and Skylar are already the same level. But at this point, if both of these teams have both of their ultimates up, who's going to favor in a 5v5 situation?
ONIC Esports has more combos, but RRQ Hoshi, they have a lot more poke damage available. Renner combined with that Eve damage, and especially with that Eve slow, that is a dangerous combo that ONIC Esports are very wary about. They don't stand out in the open just in case the snipes keep landing and they're forced to back away. They're playing in the vision, with the vision in the bushes, trying to make sure that they are the ones making it confusing for RRQ Hoshi, and the macro play allows them to secure a turret. RRQ Hoshi, though, trying and get compensation, but it won't be easy against ONIC Esports.
Again, ONIC Esports.
Dancing.
Yeah, they're fine doing this dance. Again, they have the 3,000 gold lead. There's not much that RRQ can really do. And guess what? If ONIC keeps on micromanaging the waves like this, they have the edge. They'll always have the edge, right? RRQ, though, not going to give it over just like that. They go for the conceal. Good disengage. Good read from ONIC Esports. Just backing up. And again, playing this Lord dance. Kyrie, kind of execution, was popped in. R7 getting melted down by CW in the mid lane. Has to pop the second ability. CW gets out as well. This might be the opening for ONIC Esports to again go for the Lord dance.
There's a chance for RRQ Hoshi to zone everyone away and then use the damage output from that Beatrix to solo the Lord. That is a strategy that we've seen work out, but right now, ONIC are the ones threatening to actually take it away. They're trying to force RRQ Hoshi into a weird fight, and keep your eyes on CW, man. He is gonna be one of the main damage dealers in those big team fights.
Let's see, once again, mid lane control from both of the teams. Kyrie is already rotated over to the Lord. Enhanced Lord here in the 16th minute of the game. Vin, opposition, goes in for the stun. Battle Mirror Image, and that's gonna be a lot of damage placed onto Vin. Albert doing the same to Sans. Boots just trying to zone RRQ away. Vin's super low. But ONIC Esports decide once again that they do not want to commit. They have that bottom side slow pushing, so they don't really need to worry. All they need to do is, again, set up for that top side, mid lane as well, and get the better position to actually go for another Lord dance. Because look, slowly but surely, because ONIC Esports have been doing this, the gold lead has actually been rising. It was at 2.9k at the start, and now it's ONIC Esports with 3.5k. The micromanagement of waves from ONIC Esports, absolutely phenomenal.
They nearly lost the turret in that top side for it as well.
And bot.
They have to be very careful at this point, right? Because if it keeps on going, it doesn't matter. Like you mentioned, for ONIC Esports, they're going to get more trades on the board in terms of that tower, and they're going to have more lane control because of it. But now, it seems like RRQ Hoshi, they're going to start it.
They are. They need to go for it, right? It's a desperate play here by RRQ. Vin got knocked up by the Lord. Revealing his position, but it's going to be the conceal coming in again. A good stun over to Kyrie, but Kyrie's still able to dodge away with a Thorn Rose. Now that's going to be the Battle Mirror Image onto the back lines. The CW just wreaks havoc onto that back line. Kyrie looking for the plays. No members taken down. Only Sans. Skylar will finally fall to the hands of Boots. It's a 1-for-1 right now. Albert getting out, but the damage coming in will stop him. Kyrie shuts Albert down. He's looking for another right now as he goes on to Vin. Doesn't have the puncture just yet. Goes over the Thorn Rose, and that's the kill over the Boots. R7 sustaining, but ONIC Esports have taken the 3-for-1.
Wow, the way that ONIC Esports played that team fight was so well done. They know that RRQ Hoshi are going to be reliant on the engage and the damage coming in from Skylar, and Boots was able to just chunk him down up until his elimination entirely. Boots was a huge factor to how they won that.
Wait.
What?
What?
Did they reset the Lord?
Oh, they're waiting for the Evolved Lord to spawn here.
There you go. ONIC Esports once again a level, a step ahead.
Absolutely cerebral gameplay by ONIC Esports right here. And now Sans with the Winter Truncheon, he will be able to buy even more time.
They didn't do it enough, and I think they were initially going for that, but they noticed that the death timers were a bit still too fast in the 18 minutes, so they decided to just, you know what, let's just finish it off. It got back to half HP. But hey, it's still a Lord here for ONIC Esports.
Right now, though, Claws has been built by Skylar. So in the same event of the previous team fight, if the Esmeralda is going to be hounding him, just chasing him down like that, he'll be able to actually survive for a lot longer and maybe even out-sustain the Esmeralda damage because it's not burst by all means. And I think right now, the struggle here is for R7 to match the impact that Boots has been able to do. Bigger engages, tankier, and of course more mobility. The Khalid is getting outperformed by this Esmeralda.
It is. The mobility is the only thing that R7 has on this Khalid in favor of the Esmeralda, but that's even just very close. CW, again, meanwhile CW in the top side taking that turret, base turret down now. Skylar on that Bennett, just trying to clear the Lord as fast as possible. They do take it away in the end. Only one base turret falls. ONIC Esports doing a fine job, and this is just typical ONIC, right? When they get the lead, it's just so hard to actually take the lead back. You need to go for a fight, but at this point, with the amount of disengages that ONIC Esports have, it almost feels impossible.
Especially with the additional sprint, right? So a lot of things are factors here as to why RRQ Hoshi can't seem to engage on a proper team fight. And if we take a look at the player's gold here by UBS, Clay is so far behind as well. And did it reflect on the items, Arashi?
I think he was having issues trying to maintain his mana levels because we see Sans is able to spam out more spells than Clay is able to. And part of why they went for that big fight, I think, is because Clay was slowly but surely running out of mana to deal with because he's been spamming out so many spells, trying to open up the bushes, finding vision, finding information for RRQ Hoshi. So in the next fight, I'm not quite sure what they are planning to do. I think if they actually try and go for an engage and then transition to backpedaling instead, they already know that CW and Kyrie, they want to get close, right? There's no need for them to chase in that far for the members of ONIC Esports. But now with the gold advantage, it's a completely different story. They might not even be able to deal with Kyrie diving in towards that backline. 7-0-3, level 15. Maybe if they delay the game long enough, then this gold difference will start making less and less of a difference. But then NOD has been built for Clay, understanding the amount of shielding available for ONIC Esports.
And the DHS as well, from Skylar, right? And I was about to say that, Arashi. The later the game goes, this gold lead will have little to no impact. Again, with everyone having those full items, but R7, this is it. This is a poke from Sans on a signature hero, right? RRQ right now, they're going to have to contest for the Evolved Lord because I can see them defend this, but I don't think they're going to be able to save those last two base turrets if ONIC gets the Evolved Lord this time.
They're trying to go in, trying to actually scout for information. Vin has been able to come into the danger zone, but for the most part, the lower half of the map is still under control of ONIC Esports and RRQ Hoshi. They're struggling because, again, anyone they jump on most likely won't result in a fight anyways. They will let Skylar clear the bottom side, which is going to be pretty good. And the Lord, given this late stage of the game, is going to be very, very tanky. It's going to take quite a bit to burst down. So both teams need to be very careful in how they want to approach this Lord take.
Half HP, Vin looking for the flank here. Goes into the bush. Going to be spotted out by CW. That's going to be the invisibility running out. Boots going to be stunned up. Vin popping up that shield. ONIC Esports with a very good read will just go for the reset on this Lord right now. RRQ do not want that to happen. No, they do. But again, right, this is ONIC Esports playing the smart game. The top side is slow pushing because that base turret was taken down earlier. R7 is going to have to micromanage that, and ONIC Esports can just go and again threaten the Lord and go for the engage. Vin going to be taken down. Skylar caught, has the flicker to get out with the blade armor. Will do its work. Boots gets the kill, and Keyboy will be able to find Vin. Not just yet. Boots going to be taken down. Overcommitting there, but he buys enough time for ONIC Esports. The rest of the members to go for the Lord. Kyrie secures it. Albert jumps in with the damage with a truncheon as well, but will be taken out. He has the immortality. R7 goes in for the damage, but it will not be enough to save Albert. ONIC Esports once again with a brilliant macro performance. Keyboy canceling the regen. R7 now caught in the mid. Thorn Rose as well. Immortality out. R7 buys the winner truncheon. He buys a little bit more time, but will fall again to the hands of Sans. 3 for 1. ONIC looking to get match point.
Will they be able to defend this one, right? 2 members left standing here for RRQ Hoshi with brilliant plays from Boots in particular. He was taken down, but I do believe it was worth it to trade for a gold laner. As you can see, Kyrie going in for an engage.
Kyrie just going, stacking up to go for the base. ONIC Esports with match point. 1 game away from the title.
That is crazy. The way ONIC is able to maneuver around, avoid fight.